Welcome to Catholic Answers Live, the program where you participate with your questions about apologetics and evangelization, including the most important theological, spiritual, moral, and social issues facing the world today. Call now with your question for today's guest. Toll free 1-888-31-TRUTH. That's 888-318-7884. Now, from San Diego, Catholic Answers Live.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of this Q&A open forum for non-Catholics only. Our guest this hour is Jimmy Akin, senior apologist at Catholic Answers and author of the book We Are Giving for Free. We'll send it out to you post-haste. Give your address at the top of your question off the air to our call screener, Selena, and she'll make sure that the book is shipped unto thee. Non-Catholics only. Please, 1-888-31-TRUTH is the number. Jimmy Akin is not only is he serial, he is total. Hey, Jimmy.
Serial?
Are you serial? Total.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay. You're making a pun.
Sorry about the fun. Didn't mean to be punny.
There we go. Okay. Mm-hmm. How are you doing,
so
Patrick?
I'm great. It's Monday.
Good.
TGIM.
Good. Good for you.
And you?
I also am good. And I'm ready to answer questions.
No one is good but God alone. Why do you say you were good?
How long will I put up with you?
I love these random biblicisms. 888-31-TRUTH. That is the toll-free number. Let's go back to Houston now. And caller Wood on 1430. Wood, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Wood. Thanks for calling back. Maybe we can get right to the question. If you're driving, please pull over. I think a cell phone in motion may have been part of the problem. What's your question, sir?
Am I on?
Yes, you are on the air, Wood. How can Jimmy help you?
Okay. Yeah, let me pull over here. My grandmother, she was a very devout Catholic, and she lived, before Vatican II.
Uh-huh.
And she never ate meat on Friday because she was afraid that it was a mortal sin. And she was very concerned about people eating meat on Friday because it was a mortal sin.
Mm-hmm.
And when Vatican II changed, she refused to change her practice of eating meat on Friday.
Okay.
Because she was deeply ingrained that it's a mortal sin, and if you eat meat on Friday, you're still going to hell, even after Vatican II said.
We're getting some unraveling here. What's your question for Jimmy? What are you really asking?
Are you wanting to know, is that the church's view or what?
Yeah, I mean, are the people that the church said before Vatican II, people are in mortal sin if they eat meat on Friday, are they still, the people that lived before Vatican II, are they still in that state? Or
okay. So we need to clarify a few things here. The first thing is there's nothing wrong with eating meat at any particular time of the year. Having said that, we as Catholics are subject to the laws that regulate the life of the church in the same way that the members of a family are subject to the rules made by the parents that regulate the life of the family. And so there may not be anything, for example, wrong with watching TV on Thursday night, let's say. But the family may have a rule that, okay, on Thursday night, we don't watch TV so that we can instead meet together as a family and have a quality family night together. Maybe we're going to play a game or something like that. And if that's the situation, if the parents have established that rule, then as long as that rule is in effect, then it would be wrong for one of the children to just say, okay, I don't care about that. I'm gonna pretend I'm sick and sneak off away from the family game and watch TV. Okay, I'm just going to defy this rule that my parents have made, even though it has a reasonable basis in building the life of the family. And in the same way, the church has certain regulations that help regulate the devotional and spiritual lives of its members. And so one of those is, unless you've got an adequate reason otherwise, you need to go to church either on Sunday or on the evening of the preceding day. And another is that Fridays of the Fridays of the year are days of penance, and on some of them, even today, Catholics are required to abstain from eating meat as a penitential practice, as a way of collectively expressing sorrow for our sins. That's something we do all together as a community. And so just as it would be sinful for someone in a family to say, I'm just going to ignore the family's rules and do what I want, in the same way, it's a sin for a Catholic to say, I'm just going to ignore the church's rules for no good reason, and I'm going to do what I want. That runs contrary to the gift of authority that Jesus gave to the leaders of the church, and in particular St. Peter, when he gave him the power of the keys and the authority to bind and loose. One of the things that biblical scholars from all persuasions, including Protestant biblical scholars, recognize is that language of binding and loosing, based on its Jewish background, includes the ability to make authoritative rules of conduct to govern the life of the Messianic community, of the Christian community. And so Jesus gave his pastors rule-making authority, and as a result, unless there's a compelling reason otherwise, we need to follow those rules. Now, even today, Fridays, because it's the day on which Jesus was crucified for our sins, Fridays are days of penance, and on some Fridays of the year, we're required to express that penance by abstaining from meat. And so it would be a sin for someone even today to just willfully defy that for no reason. Now, if there's a special reason, like because of your situation, you have to eat meat for some reason, well, that would be an exception, and that would have been an exception before Vatican II as well. And in fact, the church makes provision for people to be able to get protein on those days. So it's not an unreasonable requirement. And if someone defies it, the sin is not in the act itself. It's not as if eating meat were sinful. Just like in the family analogy I gave, it's not like watching television is in itself sinful. It's in the defiance of lawful authority, namely the lawful authority of the parents, which God gave to them by natural law in one case, and defiance of church authorities, whose authority comes from Christ in the other case. So if one knowingly and deliberately just chose to ignore parental or church authority on a grave matter, it is something that could jeopardize your salvation. But it's because it's defiance of lawful authority, not because of the nature of the act itself.
Wood, are you still there, Wood?
Mortal sin.
Wood, I'm sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, it's still a bouncy signal. What was your reply again to what Jimmy just said?
I guess just the nature of mortal sin.
Okay.
How it could be a mortal sin at one point and then it's no longer a mortal sin now.
Well, okay, let me give you an analogy. In this country, we drive on the right side of the road, correct?
Yes.
But in England, they drive on the left side of the road, right? Okay. It really doesn't matter in and of itself which side of the road you drive on, as long as we all do it the same way. If you defy that, though, if you're in America and you say, I don't care that we're supposed to drive on the right side of the road here, I'm going to drive on the left side, then you're probably going to get in a head-on collision and likely kill yourself, your passengers, and other people. Okay, it's extremely unsafe to do that. So it would be grave matter, and if you thus did it knowingly and deliberately, it would be a mortal sin to just willfully drive on the left side of the road in America. But it wouldn't be in England, and it wouldn't be in America either if the law in America was changed, so that now, instead of driving on the right side of the road, we would all drive on the left side of the road, just like they do in England. In that case, it would no longer be mortally sinful to drive on the left side of the road, even here in America, because you wouldn't be entailing the same risk, and you wouldn't be defying legal authority. In the case...
Hold on a second. Hold on. Just let Jimmy finish.
As I've covered, the sin involved in eating meat on a Friday when you shouldn't wasn't in the act itself. It was in the defiance of the law. And so if the law changes and you're no longer defying it, you're no longer sinning.
Is your name Wood in Houston?
No.
No. Okay. Can you get the actual name and your actual address to Selena, and we'll ship out the book for free? Apparently, there's another Wood also in Houston, and we'll try to get to him as well on Catholic Answers Live for non-Catholics only.